Alright, we are back on Hero Colosseum, and this is deck idea number 11, the ultimate defense. And right off the bat, I'm actually kind of lying, because I actually don't think this is the ultimate defense. This is more like Gogeta's ultimate defense. I think the ultimate defense would be Whis, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and Vados. And I'll explain that in a second, but first I'll explain Gogeta because that's who I have. I don't have Super Saiyan 4 Goku, so I had to work with Gogeta. And Gogeta's kind of selfish, you know what I mean? He's a little bit selfish. We'll talk about that here in a second. But basically, we're going to be using Whis, Gogeta, and Vados. And then on the side, of course, we got to have Piccolo because Piccolo's going to defend you from any incoming ult that might happen. And then I have Vegito out here. I wanted to just see how he does with the 0-1 skills. I think there are people that are better because his posing skill is not in the ult slot. So even though he's crazy fast and he hits hard, even though he does do that, I think there are people that are better for this, but I just want to try him out just to see what he does. He's only level 1. Him and Gogeta are only level 1, so I just want to see how they do. So the problem with Gogeta is Whis knocks off 30% damage taken, Vados knocks out 30% of their attack, and then Gogeta knocks out 10% of the damage they deal to everybody. So that's 70% damage. I guess in theory that would be 70% damage taken off, right? Then Gogeta gets selfish and he knocks off another 20% for himself. So right off the bat, right here, right now, in theory, he should take off 90% of the damage he's taken. Okay, damn. Well, no, Cooler doesn't hit that hard. Okay, here's the true test. Because Turles hits hard. I hate to admit it, but he does. Okay, there you go. He knocks off 90% of the damage that he takes. The only problem is this particular Gogeta doesn't have that much health. The other one has more health, the other variant, but he has less defense, so I don't know. I guess it depends on what you like. If you like more health, you should go with him. Or you should go with the higher HP version. If you like more defense, go with the lower HP version. I think the higher HP version doesn't hit quite as hard, though. I think he has a little bit less attack. So this one might be better, because there's nobody that goes in the middle that can go through your defense, so I think you're safe on HP, honestly. But regardless of that, I don't think Gogeta is supposed to even be in here, because I honestly think Super Saiyan 4 Goku is better. The reason why is because he does minus 10% damage taken or dealt by the opponents. Who cares? It's the same thing. So, well, it's only different if they hit your master's HP, because if he does minus 10% damage dealt by the opponents, it'll protect your master. But we're not worried about that. We got the master covered. So anyways, he does minus oh my goodness, so professional. He does minus 10% damage, and it's repeatable. So that means that in the first turn, everybody has minus 70%. And then the second turn, minus 80. Then by the time it's the third turn, it's minus 90% for everybody, not just Gogeta, who is selfish, and he gets minus 90% from the very start. But now all three of your people have minus 90% by the third turn. So I think it just depends on what you like to do. And other than those four, you know, Whis, Vados, Gogeta, and Super Saiyan 4 Goku, is there anybody else? Off the top of my head, I can't really think of anybody. I know Broly takes off damage, but it's only to himself. Vegito takes off damage, but he has to either go behind Vados or he has to take Whis' spot. So if he goes behind Vados, then the middle is open, and if you take Whis' spot, then that's 30% that they're gaining back. So I don't want to I don't want to move Whis out, not for Vegito. So I think these are the only figures, I believe. I'm really having a hard time thinking about this for some reason at the moment. There's so many figures now, it's hard to keep track of all of them. But yeah, I think these are the only figures that either knock off damage taken or knock off damage dealt by the opponents. And therefore, there you have it. This should be the ultimate defense. If it had Super Saiyan 4 Goku. But even regardless, even with Gogeta, because Gogeta becomes tanky as crap doing this. So, I mean, he doesn't have a lot of HP, though. And then the other one has more HP. Like, we already talked about that. So, anyways, this is the ultimate defense. Now, this could be the truly ultimate defense if you actually add more defense items to them. The only things I have on them right now is defense up second. I also have attack up second and ADM up second, just because you don't want to just have defense. You don't want that. You want to be able to dish out damage too, you know what I mean? Otherwise, these guys are going to be tanking you just as hard as you're going to be tanking them, and it's going to be one big mess. so that's why I gave them that. But I mean, if you really wanted to, you could do something like defense up F for all 3 of them, and then defense up R on top of defense up second, then oh my goodness, you ain't gonna be taking no damage. None. Nada. But you ain't gonna be dishing it out either. So, oh man. With all that being said, please keep in mind that these are just ideas. They're just ideas. These are not fully tested. These are not something like a copy it right down to the last skill, take the crap online and whoop the crap out of everybody. It doesn't work like that. These are just ideas to give people ideas of how everything works. Like how the opposing skills work, how the equipable items work, all that good stuff. This is just to give you an idea of how it works. Then you can take this deck, you can tweak it, make it even better, or you can just take Gogeta out of this deck and put him somewhere else and make it all work. That's all this is. It's just to give people ideas. That's all this is. Speaking of giving people ideas, this is not the only way to use Gogeta. Gogeta or Vegito, they both can go both ways. And I like that. They both can go either, they can go second or they can go first. And I actually have another deck idea that involves Gogeta going first. Will I put Vegito in that deck idea? Maybe, unless I can find somebody else. I have Gogeta and Champa right now. I gotta see if there's somebody else. If not, then yeah, it'll be Vegito. But anyways, yeah. So they can either go second and be tanky as crap, or they can go first and they can hit hard as hell. Whichever you choose. I like to go second, so that's why I did this. But I'm also going to do it the other way to show off how hard he hits if he goes first. You know, that way for people who like, because a lot of people like speed. I've noticed that. The speed is a big thing. A lot of people like to have a lot of speed and like to cut down your speed. So I made it a point to make my decks, my own personal decks, go second. Hey, look what we got. Janema's not going to knock the... Okay, cool. He's not in his spot. Let's see what Vegito can do. Man, it's a damn shame that his posing skill is not in the ult spot. Could you imagine? Because he's fast as crap and he hits hard as hell. Imagine if he had his extra 10% damage dealt, and then if he had that extra 350 added, which, I mean, I know it's not a lot, but crap, every little bit helps, you know? Could you just imagine? Oh my goodness, he would just... Oh man. But that's probably why they didn't do it. But they did it for Gogeta, though. We're going to be looking into that in the next video. So, Vegito's not going to do that much damage, obviously, because he's only level 1. I checked him, and at level 60, the high speed and high attack variant, that's the one I have right now. Damn. He didn't have that much more speed than them, but, like again, he's only level 1. At level 60, he would have had 3,800 speed and 6,000 attack. And that's at level 60, so at level 99, you know, he's going to have even more. That was a messed up look he had on his face. That smile, that cocky smile, that's Vegito, though. So, oh, man. You know something? Let's test the whole 90% off theory with Gogeta. Turles hit him, and he did, what, 1,300? I want to go get somebody who has almost the same defense as Gogeta, and I'm going to put them out there by themselves, and I'm going to keep repeating it until Turles ends up in the middle with them, and I just want to see how much damage Turles will do to somebody who has no Whis, no Vados, no special skills, no defense items. I want to see how much they do. Let's go check that out real quick. So here's the thing. 1,300. Turles did 1,300 to Gogeta, and honestly, that didn't seem like that was 90% off, you know? So I'm trying to figure out, how do they calculate the damage? So what I ended up doing here was, Frieza ended up being exactly 100 defense less than Gogeta. So I put him out there with defense up turn 1, because it gives him that extra 100. So him and Gogeta should be dead even on defense. And then I had to put the little shit out there, because... I'm just going to edit that out real quick. But anyways, so I put the little guy out there, because honestly I picked him just for his little trolley face. But I put him out there because if I didn't, then Frieza would have been invincible if he was out there by himself, and I had to put somebody out there, so I put him. I don't think it truly takes off 90% damage, because honestly, that's a lot. That's a lot. And if it is 90%, that means that Turles should do like well over 10,000 to Frieza right now. He should. He should do like 13,000, because, you know, 90%. So I don't think it's gonna happen. So now, does anybody know how they calculate the damage? Because I'm curious. Wow, that was really low. I was expecting that to do a lot more. Does anybody know how they? Damn, I'm just now noticing this little guy actually survived. Oh, let's go, let's go. I mean, technically he is stronger than Cooler, so this is canon. This is canon as... So, I'm missing something here, because 6,700, like, no. Because 10% of that is 670, but he did double that to Gogeta, so he did like 20% to Gogeta, not 10%, which still isn't bad, but I mean, it should have been like 600 and something. So how did they calculate the damage? I have no idea. It's all over the place, with Whis knocking off the damage that's being taken, Vado's knocking off their actual attack stat, then Gogeta knocking off the amount of damage they're dealing, and it's just, there's so many different things knocking off damage, so it's like, how do they calculate it? I don't know. Now I'm just going through random things. Alright, so that's it for this video. Please like it if you like it. You should subscribe if you want more. And join me in the next one. Alright, y'all. I'm out.